I'm Dixie, and I want to share a couple stories with you today. These are stories that really kind of explain my journey from starting out as very mentally, emotionally, spiritually unhealthy. And these are kind of some of the first steps that I took. So I want to share those with you. I hope they'll encourage you. There once was a garden that sat all alone. This garden was unkept, untrimmed, and unmowed. She often felt empty, abandoned, alone. Her keeper kept busy with things unknown. The garden she waited and wanted just to be known. Those that stopped by would ponder and say, "This is not a place I'd want to stay." At night in the darkness when no one could see, the garden would cry and even plea. She tried to pretend that she didn't know. She tried and she tried to not let it show. Year after year, this garden would grow, but these things a garden could not proudly show. It seemed that beauty was not meant for her. Oh, it had been there, but it didn't stay, except for 4 marbles planted by grace. The keeper, she kept these with extra special care, gave them lots of attention, but had none to spare. The garden she waited and wanted just to be known, but without her keeper, she had become overgrown. I think it was then that she started to see, if something didn't change, there would be no more me. The shame and the rejection were too much to bear. The garden started wishing she could just disappear. The keeper seemed to feel it too, and would come and sit in the garden, both feeling quite blue. They sat and they sighed, not knowing what to do. At last a man came by with pep in his step. He stopped and he saw their predicament. With joy he announced that he knew the way. Once he had been where they are today. He spoke of his garden, neglected so long, until one came by that helped him along. He spoke to her keeper with sternness, yet kind, of the gift she had so often left behind. This garden, he told her, was meant for your care, a place of sacred peace for you two to share. The keeper recognized that this was true and asked the man what she should do. He told her to sit in the garden each day and quietly listen to all she would say. He told her that all would not be fixed right away, but with intention, she would find a way. She was excited, elated, overjoyed to hear that what she had been so busy searching for had always been right here. With each day that passed, the joy grew and grew, and so did the beauty that was there all along. It had only been hidden for way too long. The love they had both longed for was growing inside, and all it required was time set aside. As the keeper got better at weeding and such, she enjoyed being in her garden very much. Together, they bloomed, they grew, and they beamed. Life would now be much different, it seemed. There once was a keeper who fretted and toiled. She searched and she searched for treasure unspoiled. Treasure that somehow would open the gate. Treasure that somehow would change her fate. She had seen it in others and wanted to know how to obtain it for her too to show. Others who had it did not understand why she desperately held out her empty hand. If she could just come to own the jewels and crown, she felt she could turn her whole life around. She searched the world over and under each rock, asking on every door she would knock. The longing inside her grew so fierce, as if without it, life would be scarce. She envied those who had received theirs at birth, for they did not have this incredible thirst. Why had some received so much, while others were left with nothing but dust? It was there in the dust that she started to see. Without this treasure, there will be no more me. In sadness, she sat in the chaos of life, hoping and praying to see a great light, or someone to come in and rescue her from the emptiness, despair, loneliness, despair, and gloom. There must be a way, must be something she could do. There absolutely must be someone who knew. As the tears fell and life started to shatter, there was a whisper deep, deep inside her. This whisper was calling her back to the spot that she had been running from pretty much non-stop. A spot unknowingly created and designed with nothing but her in mind. In all of her searching, she had not known that the treasure she longed for was right here at home. With attention, nurture, and care, this spot could soon provide her great cheer. She knew she had a lot of work to do, but knew that it would be worth it too. As she picked up the rubbish and pulled out the weeds, she thought she saw something just under the trees. She went to the spot and found with delight a bench with her name painted in white. She finally sat down and started to ponder. All that she saw was beautiful wonder. A garden unseen before now stood before her and seemed to say, "I have waited and wanted and longed for this day." It was then that the truth she had not understood now became living and felt so good. She was the treasure she had searched for so long. Her value had been hidden by lies gone wrong. Now she could see it and was filled with joy. She felt like a child with a shiny new toy. She felt like a child and started to twirl. Her search was now over. Life would be real. Each day she would come and sit in this place. She would breathe in the wonder, the mystery, the grace. She would take in the air filled with wisdom and truth, fresh and clean to give her a boost. She would drink of this stream, flowing pure love it seemed. She would lay in the grass and roll in the shade of the big tree of peace that had somehow been made. And that's when she really knew this place was put here intentionally for you. She could hardly believe she had missed it so long. But with all of that striving and fretting and toil, she just couldn't see. Until exhausted, she sat under that tree. The gratitude welled up inside her and started to flow. Now she wanted everyone to know that they were created on purpose too, and not just for the things they would do. We are all so much better when we know and see the person that we were created to be. Burdens will always be part of this life, but rest is essential in order to know our value unmeasured, unknown, and untold. Our freedom, it comes not from the branches on which we rely, but from knowing that we were created to fly. Have a great day.